You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
While Delhi is holding full-fledged campaigns for the upcoming state elections along with continuing an indefinite anti-CA and NRC protest, and while newsrooms are bracing for Budget 2020, a rather peculiar incident is making the headlines and stirring up a lot of conversation on social media. I'm talking about a video posted by comedian Kunal Kamra on Twitter. The video was shot in an Indigo flight where one of his co-passengers happened to be Republic TV journalist Arnab Goswami. In the video, Kamra is seen doing what some people are calling heckling and others are calling confronting Mr. Goswami about his journalism. Kamra shared this video around 4 p.m. on Twitter, and within a handful of hours, there were at least 30,000 tweets on it. And by 9 p.m., he had gotten banned from this airline. Should Kamra have approached Goswami in a flight? Should Indigo have banned Kamra for this? The jury is divided on that. You're listening to The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline-making news for you, and I'm Shorbari. And the headlines today are Kunal Kamra versus Arnab Goswami, and that's exactly what we'll look at in this episode. If you like listening to this podcast, please subscribe to The Big Story playlist for episodic updates. We're live on Apple, Google Podcasts, JioSaavn, Spotify, and most of the other popular podcast streaming platforms. For those who haven't watched Kamra stand-up, Arnab Goswami has been a frequent subject in his sketches. Kamra has not only been vocally critical of some of the government's policies like the CAA or the NRC for instance, but also critical of Goswami's political stance in his primetime shows. And mostly everybody knows Arnab. Republic TV, where he's an anchor, has had one of the highest TRPs, but many have also accused Goswami of presenting a biased and divisive opinion on his show. He's also had a hand in popularizing quote-unquote Tukre Tukre gang, which is a term that has been used to devalue those who dissent against the government. But before going on to the reactions, let's listen to a clip of what Kunal Kamra exactly said to Arnab Goswami.
Here I'm asking coward Arnab Goswami questions about his journalism, and he's doing exactly what I expected him to do. He's being a coward. First he called me mentally unstable, and now he's saying I'm watching something. He's not ready to answer my question, viewers. Viewers today want to know if Arnab is a coward or a nationalist. Arnab, this is for national interest. I am part of the Tukre Tukre narrative. You should deflate me. You should take enemies of the state down. You should make sure that the country is in safe hands of Narendra Modi. You should fight against dynasts like Rahul Gandhi, who I support, on 10th Tughlaq Lane. Arnab, you should have a reply, Arnab.
After Indigo announced a ban for a period of 6 months, what followed is a chain reaction. And this happened after a prompting from Hardeep Singh Puri, who's the Civil Aviation Minister. He tweeted saying, quote, "Offensive behavior designed to provoke and create disturbance inside an aircraft is absolutely unacceptable and endangers safety of air travelers. We're left with no option but to advise other airlines to impose similar restrictions on the person concerned." Unquote.
Want to hear the rest of this podcast? Check out the link to the full episode in the description below and follow The Quint on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, JioSaavn, and all other platforms we are on.